start the recording also.
Okay, just let me know when you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, visible.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, so I think there is echo some. Okay, now it's fine. I will start the session. So first of all, today's topic is about the anatomy. So I will cover most of the thing as I'm also just completed the L2, and as per my knowledge and the session which we was conducted earlier. So with the help of that and with the help of this documentation which Dhananjay has shared, so I'm just presenting about the anatomy part. So first of all, we will start with the Bhagavad Gita slok from chapter 6, 17th. युक्त आहार विहारस्य युक्त चेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्त स्वप्न वबोधस्य योग bhavati dukkha. So that means what it says this slok, that whoever is tempered in eating and recreation, balanced in work and regulated in sleep, can mitigate all sorrows by practicing yoga. So what is this? Everything should be in the balance, in the proper ratio, so that there won't be any sorrow or something issues. So what topic we are going to discuss here is about the human body. What are the how the human body is formed at the high level, and then we can see there are multiple system which support the human body. So what are those? Also we will uh, get an overview about the sensory organ, that is eyes, nose, ear, tongue and skin, and also we'll try to cover the few topics from the Tridosha or Saptadhatu if time permits. I think I'm audible, right? It's just a
Yeah, yeah.
confirmation.
But today's more focus will be on anatomy.
Yeah,
So let's try to cover that first. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. So first of all, this human body. Before that, I just want to share one more slide. So this is something how everything in the universe has been created. So it's at the granular level. It's an atom. So if you see that everything is made up from the atom. So when atom combine, that they converted into molecules. Let's say hydrogen and oxygen. These are the two atom. This combine and become a water, H2O. That is a molecule. So when the molecules group up, they form an at the cellular level. So that is one cell. Okay, the group of cell, the same type of cell will when come in together, that is something let's say for example it's become a muscles tissues, or any kind of connectivity muscles, nerves. These are nothing but the group of same kind of cells. And with this, when these cells group it, they indirectly get converted or seen as an organ. So that is an organ. So underlying the organ, these things are happening. That then that organ the come into picture the systems. So we will see what are the systems. So when organ connect with other organ and how they connect, how they behave, they fashion in a system. So we will see what is the type of system. And this system, there are multiple system combine and form or take place as a human being or any organ. So these are the systems for human being or for us. So for example, the skeleton system. Skeleton system is mostly the bone part which support and which give the protection to the other system or the organs. Then we have a muscular system. So this every movement, the voluntary movement within the body is help of with the muscular system. Also there are some involuntary movement like the heartbeat and all those things happen with the within the muscular system. We will see this in more detail. I'm just giving a overview of this. What are the systems? So there is a circular system, circulatory system, the blood circulatory system. Respiratory system is via which we take breathe in and breathe out, and we supply the oxygen through the help of respiratory system and circulatory system. Then we have neuron or nerve system. Then we have endocrine system, which is responsible for hormones secretion, which from one organ to different organ. This is with the help of this system we pass on the message. Then there is a urinary system. So all the waste product, the liquid waste product went out of this. And then we have digestive system. So whatever how we survive, or how this other substance like food, how it has been converted and provide the nutrition to our body, and how that waste has been eliminated from our body is 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 carried out by the digestive system. Then we have a reproductive system. So whatever the for any species in this universe, they reproduce their own clone. So how that cloning happen, and there how the system work, this is so there are total uh, nine systems in human body. So this is the nine major systems. Now skeleton system, if you see, there are a total, when a baby born, there are total 270 bones at the birth, which support the body and the organs. And as we become adult, as we grow up, few bones, they merge, they decreases to form the number decreases to 206. So in adulthood the bone is 206, but when the child is born there is 270 bone. Why this is like? There are at the when the baby is in the womb, the structure is so complicated, so compact, there are need of multiple joints or multiple splits in the bone. But when we become slowly adulthood, that joints is no require, no, there is no function of that joints, and that bone merge with other bone and become the number get reduced. So these are the multiple bones, number of bones. So basically we have to remember about which are the longest bone in the limbs, in the lower limbs, legs, and the upper limbs. So that are a few need to check. So these are the about the limbs. And then about the muscular system. So muscular system, this is responsible for the carry out of about the activity. So as I say, voluntary and involuntary system activity. So as you see, when we move our arm, or when we walk, or when we look around, there are different muscles involved in that activity, which is voluntary. So we specifically command those movement. But when we look it to the heart, the heart is pumping continuously 24 by 7 without our, which is not in our control. So that is involuntary movement. So, and there is something basically we can categorize the muscles in three types. So there is some um skeleton muscles. So the muscles which join to the skeleton, and there is a cardiac muscles, which is basically within our whole body. It's only present in the heart, where the cardiac or the heart pumps continuously. Then we have smooth muscles, which is nothing but present in the stomach and intestine, small and large intestine. So those muscles are very smooth in nature. The activity of muscles depend upon the three category the activity is defined. So skeleton muscles is nothing but to give the support to join the bones via tendons. So the bone and muscles is connected with tendons. And then the heart is the cardiac muscles, which contract and relax continuously. And then the smooth muscles is something we there is no any it is very smooth, so anything is easily passes, which is required for stomach and intestine to pass on the food to the from the in the digestive systems. That's why the smooth muscles are carry out that activities. Now the most important from one is the important top system, which is from the exam point is the circulatory system. This is multiple questions come from this. So basically, if you see the circulatory system, within the circulatory system there is a heart come into picture, then there is a lungs. So these two things come into the picture of circulatory system. In circulatory system, the heart pumps the blood throughout the body. So the blood is circulated throughout the body with the help of heart, and there is a two way. I will just switch to the second positions too. So this is a heart. So this is a heart in circulatory system which pump the blood. So if you see, the blood has been pumped downward, which is called as a systemic circuit, and one is the upward. This is a pulmonary circuit. The difference between this is the blood pulmonary circuit is nothing but where the deoxygenated blood get oxygenated, or the impure blood which contain the concentrated carbon dioxide and the other harmful gases from the whole body, is reached to the lungs part, where from the lungs we get an oxygenated blood, and it has been diluted or transferred in the blood, and the the harmful or the the deoxygenated blood get released from the body with the help of lungs, and then again the oxygenated blood come to the heart. So this complete the cycle from heart to lungs, and then lungs to heart is the pulmonary circuit, and it is carried out with the help of pulmonary arteries and pulmonary veins. So these are the two. This there will can be a question. So this is the two arteries and veins which carry out the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood from the heart. Now when the oxygenated blood come, so the oxygenated blood come to the heart from the lungs with the help of pulmonary veins, and then it again pump towards back to the whole circuit of a body with the help of aorta. So this is the major or the biggest oxygenated uh, branch which supply to the body, and then this with the help of systematic circuit, each cells receive the oxygenated blood, and these form a small capillaries within the in the arteries or in the veins, where the oxygenated blood get diffused with the cells, and the deoxygenated blood get immersed in the deoxygenated blood get in the vein system, and then this again come back to the heart. So this is where it again pump back to the lungs. So this complete the circulatory system. There can be a like which so in heart we have a four part, basically top two, from where the blood come in. From one side we get a, or from the right side we get the impure blood into the heart, and from left top we get the oxygenated blood in the heart, and from the bottom side we get we push the blood, the deoxygenated blood to the lungs, and from the left heart, from the bottom we push the oxygenated blood to the body. And what is the name for this? So the lower two chamber are the ventricles, so left and right, depend on based on the position. Similar to the top one, it is the atrium, so left and right atrium. So the atrium are responsible to take the blood, to pull the blood in the heart, and ventricle are responsible to push the blood out. So this is the whole cycle of the circulatory system. And yeah, so this is circulatory system. So but if you see, without the help of the lungs, this circulatory system cannot be completed. So here we get another system, the respiratory system, where the lungs come into picture. We get an oxygen via lungs, but it is not that much simple. So in this process, there are multiple organs. As I say, the system is nothing but the multiple organs work in a group for a particular process. So this in this respiratory system, we have a lungs, we have nose, we have trachea, and sub organs within the lungs. So from the nose, we get an oxygenated blood. There is a food pipe. Like we get an oxygenated blood from the back of the. So if you see, this nasal cavity is present to the back of the head or the mouth, and the food pipe is in the front. So but the this trachea is at the front, and the food pipe goes back to this. So this swap is happen, or this is take this I will just switch to this. So this is the place where food pipe go backside to the air pipe, and this is a nasal cavity where it's pushed back to the. So this switch is carried out with the epiglottis. So this is a place epiglottis play a role where it does when we eat the food. This pipe has been blocked by the epiglottic, and that food is pushed to the food pipe, which is present something behind this windpipe. And when we take the air from the nose, this epiglottis is moved towards the upper side, the at the mouth or below the tongue. It closes that part, and the air pass through this trachea. So in this way, the air passes or reach to the lungs part. So there is the lungs. We have two lobe or two part of the lungs, left and right. So if you see the right part of the lungs is divided into three lobe, and this is the inner two lobe. Reason behind is that because of the heart present, there is one lobe is less at the left side of the lungs, and we have here three lobes. Below the lungs, we have the uh, diaphragm with the whole respiratory system is carried out with the help of diaphragm. So if we don't have this layer of a skin, the whole process doesn't happen. So how the respiratory happen? This diaphragm push upward by our system, and these lungs get contract. Because of contraction, there is no way to air move. There is only one way to pass the air. So the air pass out through the nose, and when this diaphragm goes down, the the air is pulled in. So this is automatically happening with the help of this pressure of the diaphragm, and the oxygen come. When it come to the lungs, so this is the windpipe. When the oxygen come to here, so if you see, this is the oxygenated circulatory system, and this is a deoxygenated circulatory system of the from the heart. So when oxygen come, it's reaches to the alveoli. So alveoli. So this is where the oxygen and deoxygen get transferred from the body to the lungs. So this is happen, and again you see the capillary is nothing but the small fabricate of the or small section of the veins. So this is the smallest part is the capillary, where the blood cannot transfer, but the oxygen or any minerals nutrition get transfer from the organs to the blood system. So that is this happen here. In this way, the whole circulatory respiratory system happen. uh, okay, then we will move to the nerve system. So within the nerve system, the major system, like nerve system, can be subdivided into the two system: central nerve system and peripheral nerve system. So what is the central nerve system? The brain, or the brain part, the nerve system is and the spinal cord. So these two become a central nerve system, which is the commanding nerving system, and then we have a peripheral or the nerve system which is away from the central nerve system towards the organ or toward the each part of the body. That is a peripheral nerve system. Now within the peripheral nerve system we have sub part: autonomous, somatic, and visceral nerve system. So autonomous nerve system, we will talk about this first. So autonomous nerve system is something it's automatically get trigger depend upon the situation or the message which is received through the sensory organ. Okay, so there is like sympathetic nerve system, parasympathetic nerve system, and enteric nerve system. So sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve system. So if you see there is a situation like um, yeah. So parasympathetic nerve systems, in it what happen? It is like stimulate the saliva, constrict bronches, and all those things happen to maintain the homeostasis. Okay, and mobilize this reserves under stress. So this is what is this two system is happening whenever there is a, let's say there is some attack has been happen on you. So there is a automatically our some organs get triggered, and that is automatically organ get in the defense mode. So what there are few changes happen in our body in some organs, like let's say there is the eyes uh, will get dilated. Then you have a, uh, uh, slow digestion process because there is no need for the digestion as of now, because you have to want to in protect mode. So there is some attack is happening. So heart will increase, heartbeat will be increased because you are in panic. You want to survive some way. So
They were losing you in between the voice is going.
take the carry, take the activity. Then we have enteric nerve system. This is mostly responsive for the gastro intestine, which is again the autonomic or the automatic process activity which carry out. But this is something responsible for the gas and the intestine signals. Then we have somatic nerve system. This nerve system is voluntary, so it is not automatic, but this is voluntary, and this nerve system is connected with mostly with muscles. Again, not heart muscles, cardiac muscles, but the limbs muscles, the neck muscles. All this which we do the voluntary movement. Those nerves are carried by those signals are passed on through the somatic nerve system. And the nerves which is connected with the viscous organs like heart, pancreas, um, kidney, all those organs, this is the nerve system responsible. But mostly from the exam point of view, it will be asked about the two type of nerve system, then peripheral and central. Then within automatic nerve system or autonomous nerve system, we have sympathetic and parasympathetic. These are the main for level and level 2, but this is well to know all the whole system nerve system. Then we have a androgenic system. This is mostly responsible for the hormones, and this is also correlated in the yoga with the chakras. So or the point where with the help of the yoga asanas we can stimulate the hormones. So these are the responsible for mainly for hormones which secrete in the blood or in the system. So for example, one of these thyroid and parathyroid gland which is present in the neck. So whatever the um, exercise we do in uh, the neck bending exercise is responsible for that. Uh, for it stimulate that gland or that hormones. So when we do the meditation or when we focus between the eyebrows, this gland has been stimulated with the help of yoga. But this is also carry out the different behavior of or support within the system. So what basically androgenic system did, it supply the hormones in the body to behave or to operate the organs or operate the process. Let's say pancreas. So this is one of, and the issues in the blood what we have. So for that we have an this gland. So this is the gland. Uh, then we have urinary system. So this is again, you see in this we get the oxygen and oxygenated blood. So it is connected with the circulatory system, um, and whatever the water we drink or whatever the liquid has been present in the bloodstream, that oxygen that blood has been come to the kidney, and that kidney filter the blood, and the impurity or the excess water has been removed from the bloodstream. And so it is similar kind of a lungs activity, but lungs mostly do the oxygenated blood in the bloodstream. This remove the liquid fluid which is harmful, which is present in the blood or in excess, or which is harmful substance. So whatever the things, it's filtered it, and it's passed on to the urine bladder. So this is the collection of storage where the urine has been stored uh, before this excretion. So this is how the kidney or the urinary system work. Uh, then we can move to the digestive system. So digestive system, again, this is one again next important topic. Multiple questions come from the digestive system. So in digestive system, again we have the upper mouth part is involved. Then we have esophagus, which supply the food from the mouth to the stomach. And then in stomach, the food with the help of the acid or the juices present in the stomach, the food get break down, and then that breakdown food is again passed on to the small intestine. uh, when it pass on to the small intestine, we have a liver and the pancreas present, and the role is there within the from the liver we get let's say insulin and all those stuff, and from pancreas also to help to in the digestion. So this is uh, so this is where the food uh, get absorbed, the nutrition values get absorbed, and this is carried out for the long duration. So whatever the nutrition value has been present in the food has been fully absorbed, and then it has been passed on to the large intestine. So when it is passed on to the intestine, the the function of the large intestine is not to absorb the nutrition, but to absorb or remove the excess water from the waste product which has been provided or given or coming from the small intestine. And in this large intestine, the waste has the longest time from in the whole digestive system. The food stay in the large intestine for the longer duration. So this is where the food get stored, and it has been excreted from the our fully from our body with from the anus, and this complete the fully our digestive system. From the time perspective, if you see, whenever the food has been uh, consumed, it's take 1 minute in the mouth, and there is like saliva and other saliva is one kind of a enzyme which is naturally secreted in our body. The food started, the glucose or the starch in the food get started decomposing or getting breakdown in the mouth itself. So digestion process start in the mouth itself. Then that is passed on to the this pipe, food pipe, and it's take around 2 to 3 seconds. So this is the shortest or the smallest time where the food present in our body. So in this, um, so this is sorry, esophagus. So this is the food pipe where the food stay at the shortest duration, that is 2 to 3 seconds. Then in the stomach, the food stay for 2 to 4 hours, where the food again break down to the uh, glucose or any in the lowest form, and then it is passed on to the small intestine. Within the small intestine, it's take a food to 3 to 5 hours in the small intestine where the nutrition get absorbed, and then it has passed on to the large intestine where around 10 hour or 10 hour plus food stay, and then it's come out from our body. So this whole system, if you see, it's take around 18 to 20 hours for a process of digestion. And if you see, the food come out of our mouth, like we omit, whenever the we food omit, it is not, we don't get the bile juice or something, or the pitta or the acid from the stomach, because there is in whole digestive system there is only one flow in the one direction, at the down direction, except from this part. So before the stomach, the chances of food is there to come out from the mouth, but once the food is reached to the stomach, there is a vowel or a layer where there is a blockage, or there is an organ which block the reverse process of this whole process. So there are multiple step or multiple uh, positions in which this vowel or the lock has been present in our digestive system, so the food should not flow in a reverse uh, direction. So this is about the digestive system. Then we have reproductive system. This is basically a biological uh, system which is needed to reproduce the same kind of species in the system. So this is in this also there are many fluids, and the hormones are required, so which carry out by the whole systems. So this is where, like for example, as per the yoga, we have sapta dhatu, and the shukra or the shukranu or the sperm, what we call in a western language, it is the purest or the last final product from within our dhatu. So if we go from blood to the shukra, that is the last, you can say, the digestive or the food converted in that form. So this is about the reproductive system. Yeah. um, any so far question about these nine system, or should I carry on? Okay. uh, I'm going fine, or anything more, like it's just like I'm also a learner, so I'm just explaining from my side what I understood actually.
Yeah. So if anyone has question, please ask. You can just unmute yourself, or you can put a question in chat box also.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
continue then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So next is after the nine system in our body. First of all, yeah, moving to the next part, why we in the yoga, why we or in YCB, why we are looking, why we are learning these systems, the body system, nine systems, because whatever you are doing the yoga, okay, yoga postures, let's say yoga posture, not I'm not going about other things like pranayam or the meditation or dhyana or whatever, about yoga posture. So these nine system get involved in that. So whenever do a, let's say you do the halasana, so in that halasana all nine system get involved. Okay, so from the skeleton system to the reproductive system, everything is involved in that, and you should aware of each system, each organ within the system, how that behave. So if you are in level 2 for the wellness, you should know the what are the impact on the organ on the or on the system for with the help for that particular pose. Okay, similar goes for the meditation or the pranayam. So pranayam is nothing but the respiratory. In pranayam, you involve the respiratory, circulatory system, nerve system. All these things has been involved in that. So that's why these nine systems are important to know and to learn when we are talking about yoga. Now this is about the sensory organ. We will continue. So we have, as we know, we have five sensory systems: eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. This sensory system is taking the message from the outer world to the body, to inner world or within the body. Okay, so as we see, with the help of eyes we see the whole world. So whatever sight we see, whatever the object we see, whatever things we see is with the help of eyes. But again, these eyes, this is a sensory organ which is connected to the system. So this is a one organ from our whole nine system. Nose is used for smell. So this is from where we can smell the things. So smelling the thing is nothing but olfactory. So when you smell anything, you can get the hint that you are in danger, it is harmful, or it is good, it is pleasant, or it is neutral. So most many information you received from the nose. So that's why this is also one of the sensory organ. Then ear, you can get a sound wave, you can hear the surrounding, you can communicate, you can listen. So this is activities is happening with the ear. The tongue is to taste, like we taste the food with the help of tongue. So this is also a sensory organ which provide you the information of happy, pleasure, unhappiness, uneasiness, unpleasant. So this is also one of sensory organ. Hand, nothing but touch. So the skin represent your hand. So skin is something you get a sensory, like if it is hot, cold, or harsh or smooth. So this kind of information you get from the skin or the hand or the with the touch of the with the outer world. So these are the five sensory. So if we quickly go to the each object, about the sensory, if you see talk about the eyes, how it's happened and how it is. So if you see, the eyes has been connected, or this is the whole system. If you see a glass of water and you pick up a glass of water to drink, so in this whole system what is happening, the central nervous systems take place. So there is a brain, which we talk, brain and spine is the central nervous system, part of central nervous system. So that has been involved in this. So there is a sensory nerves which is connected to the eyes. We see the object, the message is sent to the brain, then the brain send again a message to a motor through a motor nerves to the hand muscles, and these muscles get contract, and these muscles, like the bicep muscles gets contract, the tricep muscles get relax, the bone in the upper arm of the upper limb, so it has been, there is a movement because of this muscles movement. Because of that contraction, the hand get move, and again there is also a motor neurons help in holding the glass, and so all this, that is a granular level we can feel, and we know that practically. So in this way we pick the glass and we drink the water. So this is how the whole system happen. Okay, so first of all, eyes. Within the eyes, if you see, we have optical nerves. So this is a nervous system, the peripheral nervous system involved, connected to the eyes, because this is one of the extreme organ of the body, eyes. And it connected to the retina via the fovea. So you see, the retina is the receiver of the light. When the light fall uh, from the lens to the retina, we see the object. So I'm not going into detail, but this is how the multiple muscles, if you see, there is a muscles involvement. This is a ligament, is nothing but the soft muscles, or whenever the bone connect to bone is not connected with the muscles, actually it connect with the ligament. So this is a ligament also present in the eyes. So this is something just for information, uh, how eyes, what multiple things or multiple systems organ for small eyes has been present. Through these eyes we able to see the whole object. Okay, so ear. So basically, if you see, we it's very simple thing that we can hear with the we can hear the sound from the ear, but how many organs or what are the things are involved in the ear? If you see, the sound get received to the organ with the auditory canal. So this is the canal from where we receive the sound waves to our sensory organs. So sensory organ is present at this level. So this is called as a middle ear, and this is called as a inner ear. So basically, this is only the external part of ear from where we receive the sound through the auditory canal. If you see, this ear is also connected to the nasopharynx. So this is nothing but it is connected to the indirectly to the mouth, to the food pipe and the air pipe. So this is where you see the eardrum. Okay, this is small eardrum where the sound get heated or get contact. And if you see, this is the hammer and anvil and stirrup. So these are the bone or middle ear, where this, according to the sound wave or whatever, the when the sound wave touches this drum, see, there is some kind of vibration or the signal is passed on, and this signal from the middle ear, it is passed on to the inner ear. Okay, and this inner ear, then this is passed on to the nerve system. So if you see, there is a nerve system, and it is not important, I think, for L1 to remember all these names, but this is how the process happen. The signal pass on to the nerves, and then it will go to the CNS, central nervous system, that is a brain. Okay, so this is, in this way, we are able to hear the sound. uh, then for the nose, so nose is used to smell. So it is one of the olfactory organ, we called as, because it's only the organ in the whole body from where we can there is a special organ called as olfactory, through which we can convert the signal into smell. So um, yeah, so this is where you see, yeah. So if you see this, the nose is something, there is a cavity kind of space, that is a nasal cavity, we say. So there is a more space with inside the nose. Then we take the air inside this. Okay, and then this air went to the air pipe. So this, if you see, this is the position what I am talking. So this will move towards this. So this will be close the food pipe, and air will go in this wind pipe. And if it is above, like, just it is closing just the wind pipe, so food will be directly go to the backside, and it will move to the food pipe. So this is the how the nose or the nose anatomy is this. Again, if you talk about the from the yoga perspective, when we do the Jal Neti. So in that time, we pass on the water from one nose, and the water come out from the other nose. But after doing the Jal Neti, it is mandatory to do the Kapal Bharti. The reason behind this is because if we can't see from the outer, but inside the cavity is holding the more space, and so there are more chances to that the water will be there in the nasal cavity. Because of that, you can have a cold, you can caught a cold. So that's why you have to do the Kapal Bharti after the Jal Neti to remove all the water present in the nasal cavity. Also the from the Ayurveda point, there is a mucus or the kapha present in this nasal cavity, which help the access. Always access doesn't help, but in the limited manner, it helps that the other pollutant within the air, when we breathe in the air, it stick to that mucus, so that it doesn't pass on to the our lungs and to the whole system. So this is uh, whole anatomy of the nose. So again, if we go to the tongue, so this tongue is present within the mouth. So this is the area where you can taste. Okay, so the flavor of the food or the object, you can taste it with the help of the tongue. So if you know, you can hear about the tonsils. So there are basically two type of tonsils present in within our mouth or below the tongue. So there is a engaged tonsil and the palatine tonsil. So these are the tonsil present, and they have their internal role in this the tongue taste. Also, there is this is the epiglottic, which prevent the food, which separate the food and the air pipe. So this is the you can see in your mouth. This is the place, or this is the organ which separate the wind and air pipe with this organ. So yeah. So on the tongue, you have multiple small sensory buds on the tongue, from which you get the you taste the object. Okay, so that is sensory pass on to the again to the central nervous system. So whatever we see as of now, eyes, ear, nose and tongue, all these sensory organ or the central nervous system is involved in this. So this is directly connected to the central nervous system. Now skin, we see the skin. So basically, if you talk about the skin is subdivided into three part. So there is a upper layer, that is epidermic, we call this. Then there is a middle or the second layer, that is dermic, and third layer is it is connected to the tissue actually, basically. So as we see, there is a skeleton tissue muscles. So to that, this last layer has been connected. There is also a space from where the sweat come. So we have a sweat gland within the middle layer of the skin, from where the sweat come, and this is used for homeostasis or to control the body temperature of our body, also to remove the excess waste from our body. So this is also used for the removing the toxic substance from our skin layer. Okay, so this is the skin. Again, for this, the nerves which are involved is the peripheral nerves. So mostly the central nerve system is not involved directly in this. So the message or the signal from the skin is passed on to the to the spinal or the cervical, like this is passed on to the spinal nerves, which is spinal nerve, I just forgot, but it is subdivided into based on the spinal cord. So it is cervical, thorax, abdomen and the uh, skull. So these are the four type of the nerve system is classified, or it is categorized from within the spinal cord. So this is depend upon the position of the skin. The signal is passed on to that specific through that specific nerve system. So this is about the five sensory organ and the structure. Yeah. So this is I think I can stop here for today. Uh, if any there is any question or anything, just let me know, or you can ping it. Let's check it.
Hello.
Yeah.
It was very well done. Huh? I don't know your name, but you really took the lesson well. I wanted to ask you, did you make these notes or you took it from somewhere?
No, actually, this most of the notes are from the Dhananjay, so Gawade. So she shared with me, and during our L2 L3 sessions, some slides has been used from that session. It's not
Okay,
my
nice.
content. Yeah.
Okay, but very nice. Huh? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, his name is Devi Charan Singh.
Acha,
Like
Devi
he's
Charan.
part
Okay,
of the. Yeah.
thank you, Devi Charan. Very nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
So, any questions to anyone? I think please ask freely. Any query?